Since it's Hispanic Heritage Month, I wanted to have a look back at some of the WWE superstars of Hispanic descent that have made an impact on WWE television in recent memory. And with me being Hispanic and having a decently large wrestling platform, I thought that this was an appropriate way to celebrate things. So today, we're going to be tier ranking WWE superstars of Hispanic descent from Hall of Fame all the way down to basura, which means trash in Spanish. And hey, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm confident that you're going to fall in love with this channel because we upload daily wrestling content. All right, folks, here are the tiers that we're going to be using. We have Hall of Fame, Great, Good, Meh, and Basura, which again means trash in Spanish. Let's start off with one of the legends of the business, Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie Guerrero automatically goes into the Hall of Fame. Eddie was one of my original favorite WWE superstars. I started watching WWE in 2002 on a regular basis, and I can truly say that I became a fan of the WWE because of characters like Eddie Guerrero. But not just characters, like Eddie was an amazing hybrid of being able to play an amazing character while also being one of the greatest to actually ever do it in the ring. He also has a laundry list of accolades that I'm going to spend forever just trying to list. We unfortunately lost him far too early, but he truly is one of those beacons in the Latin American community in terms of like the type of impact that you can leave in a world of professional wrestling. Like Eddie Guerrero is leaps and bounds, and it's not even close Hall of Fame tier. Let's go ahead and grab a Carlito cool, Caribbean cool, Carlito Colon. All right, so Carlito is one of my favorite characters of all time as well. I love the swagger of the Caribbean cool. He's also like very good in the ring as well. I don't think that enough people talk about how good he actually is in the ring. I don't think that he quite reaches Eddie Guerrero levels, but to me, he is a fantastic in-ring technician and he is a great character worker. I think he's kind of like the actually Latino version of Razor Ramon, and I think he plays the role really well. I don't think that he reaches Hall of Fame, but I do think that he goes into the great category. Let's go ahead and grab Los Matadores. Who remembers those guys, aka Epico and Primo? Yeah, no, they really weren't ever able to get over with the crowd, regardless of what gimmick they gave them. Whether it was like, hey, we're the cousins of Carlito, or whether we're a bunch of Spanish bullfighters, or we're also Caribbean cool. It didn't matter. Like people just weren't down with them, and it's a shame because in the ring they're actually quite good, but they just had the charisma of a brick. So I'm gonna put them in basura. You know what? Let's just get rid of the LWO now. Let's start off with Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar, look, like I'm not gonna sit here and talk trash about the man. Like he is very good in the ring. I just think that right now he's a charisma vacuum. I don't think that there's anything really for fans to be able to clamor onto beyond the fact that he's just a Latino in the Latino world order. His true personality has not been able to flourish under this LWO shtick. Honestly, I think it's hindering him. I think he was much more charismatic and much more interesting as the leader of Legado del Fantasma, because right now in the LWO, he is ultra mad. Like he's just not doing it for me. I think he needs a change of scenery, and I think it could just be like that, like one quick snap of the finger, and we could be moving him into good and great, because in the ring I think he's quite good, but man, that character work and I mean I guess lack thereof just has me so bored every time that I see him. Oh Christ, what are the names of the other two? I think one of them is like Joaquin Phoenix. No, that's the guy that played the Joker. Joaquin Wilde. There's Joaquin Wilde and Horatio Sergio. I need to take a second and just double check their names. Okay, turns out this guy's name is Cruz del Toro. Look, if I have to do a Google search mid YouTube video to figure out your name, I'm sorry, you go into basura for me. I can't do this. I can't do this, man. The LWO, anything that they do is so bad right now. It's so boring. They're just a glorified jobber faction being led by a Hall of Famer. That's all they are. Okay, so what's his name again? Cruz del Toro. So we did Cruz del Toro, and then there's Joaquin Wilde, who, by the way, pretty sure isn't even Latino. I don't think he's of Hispanic Hispanic heritage. I think he's Filipino. I'm pretty sure he's Filipino. I did a quick Wikipedia search on him, and it says he's Filipino. So anyways, poser, I guess. But I'm putting him into Basura, alongside, God, what is his name again? Cruz del Toro, but at the very least, Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Wild. At least he wears a cool hat that makes him look like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat, so at least that's interesting. Alberto he goes into the great category. Look, for all of his faults, for as terrible as a human being as he turned out to be, his time in the WWE, he accomplished just about everything, all right? He had 2 world title matches at WrestleManias, and in my world, that's considered a main event. Quasi, it didn't close the show, but it's a WrestleMania main event, so let's give him 2 of those. He was Edge's last match at that time. He was a Money in the Bank winner, Royal Rumble winner, a multi-time world champion winner. Like, this dude literally did it all. He has the resume of a WWE Hall of Famer, but of course, outside of when the cameras are off, turns out he's kind of a shitty human being. So he isn't going to be making it into the Hall of Fame category with Eddie, but I will say I love his character. I love the character of the Mexican aristocrat. I love that he comes out in Rolls Royces. I love that he has his own personal ring announcer. Like, it's such a great gimmick. It is a fantastic gimmick. I love it. He goes into the great category. Hey, just wanted to thank the patrons over at patreon.com/SantiZap for helping keep the lights on and the mics on, helping me be able to do this on a full-time basis. If you're interested in seeing even more wrestling content, the Wrestling is Cool podcast, Wrestling is Cool Plus, Monday Night Raw reviews, Friday Night SmackDown reviews, the mailbag, some gaming content as well. All of that is over on Patreon. Check the very top link. You already get a ton of content here. I'm just saying you can get even more. Go check it out. See what tier works for you. Thank you for the support again. All right, next let's grab Chavo Guerrero, and like we have Eddie at home, Chavo Guerrero. He goes into the meh category. Like, he never really was able to develop a character of his own, you know, like to me, he was just always, you know, Eddie's nephew. And on top of that, like when he tried to do unique character work, he did, you know, Kerwin White pretending to be a white golfer. So it was pretty cringe. In the ring, he is phenomenal. He is one of the best cruiserweights to ever do it, but I never really was able to connect with Chavo Guerrero, so he goes into the meh category for me. All right, next up, let's grab Snooki from the Jersey Shore. That's right, she is from Santiago de Chile, so she's not actually Italian, as they might make you out to believe in the Jersey Shore show, but she is from Santiago de Chile, so she is Latin. Basura, garbage. I don't think anyone's gonna argue Snooki. I mean, she was in a major WrestleMania match. She counts as a WWE superstar as far as I'm concerned. Basura. And hey, if we're gonna have a garbage celebrity in this, let's grab a great celebrity. Let's go ahead and grab Bad Bunny and put him right into the great category. You know what? I'm borderline considering Hall of Fame here. Look, I'm gonna put him into the Hall of Fame, but he's almost got like his own Hispanic heritage wing of the Hall of Fame because he is a celebrity. So I can't really put him I can't really talk about him in the same breath as some of the other WWE superstars, but I have to put him in Hall of Fame because of his desire to want to do this. He clearly doesn't do this for a paycheck. He is one of the most successful music artists on the planet. He does wrestling, he does WWE because he loves it, and you can tell the amount of work that he puts in. You can tell the amount of intricacies that he looks at with his character, even the way that he cuts promos, looks at the camera. You can tell that he is a student of the game, and he is helping elevate professional wrestling into the mainstream in a way that very few celebrities have been able to do, because he's not just there for a one-off quick paycheck, cut a promo. Like, he's there to have a 25-minute banger match with you, whether it's a WrestleMania Backlash. It doesn't matter. Like, this man delivers every time he's in the ring, and he draws eyes on another level to the WWE. We have to put him into the Hall of Fame. Andrade Cien Almas goes into the good category. I feel like WWE really mishandled him. I think he's having a good career over in AEW, but at some point we need to see him back in the WWE. I really think this is where he belongs. I think that under Triple H, he will be treated better in the WWE. So let's put him into the good category for now, but there's a lot of room to grow for Andrade. The Bella Twins. Oh gosh. Look, I don't know. Look, I'm somebody that gives the Bella Twins their respect, okay? I think that they made the best out of the situation that they were put in, which was the Divas era, where you benefited from just being super attractive. Like, that's what it was. That's what the Divas era was all about. And they were the poster child of the Divas era. However, both of these two ladies made an amazing effort to transition out of the Divas era into the women's evolution and became decent professional wrestlers in their own right. Like, we have to at the very least acknowledge that. So they were very, very pivotal to the women's evolution of professional wrestling. So I have to give them their props. I'm gonna put them into the Hall of Fame. I have to give them their props. They're not my favorite, but in terms of what they were able to do during the Divas era, like, they were the face of women's wrestling for a really, really long time. And seeing their genuine attempt to transition out of just being supermodels into being wrestlers and being in-ring performers and being in-ring storytellers, like, I have to give them their props. And of course, they also help popularize WWE on television with shows like Total Divas. So, like, again, it's a different context than somebody like Eddie Guerrero, and heck, a different context than Bad Bunny, but I have to give them their props. I have to put them in the Hall of Fame. Dominik Mysterio is amazing. You guys know I love Dominik. He still has just so much more work to go to continue to move up this list, but he's on his way. I love Dominik Mysterio. He's probably one of my favorite things going on in professional wrestling at the moment. But again, the kid's young. He's 26. He still has so much more time to continue to elevate himself. And I think in his mid-30s, he could be one of the greatest to ever do it, because he is constantly working on his craft. He is in NXT and on Raw doing double duty. He's constantly in front of the camera, getting better on the microphone, improving his in-ring skills. I think that this guy is the future of the WWE. He is the future best heel of the WWE. He's already up there. I'm putting him into the good category, but just know a few years from now, we could be talking about him into the higher tiers. Kalisto never really did it for me. He kind of just felt like Rey Mysterio from Wish, although I thought that he was more impressive, like, when it came to his lucha style than Rey Mysterio, but I don't think he ever really resonated with me or the majority of fans, so I'll put him in the meh category. Grand Metalik is kind of the same way. Like, he is just a absolute genius of the ropes. Like, I've never seen anyone manipulate the ring ropes the way that he does. Seriously, like, maybe Ray Fenix in AEW is the only other person. So in terms of his in-ring lucha style, he is absolutely iconic. But again, as a character, doesn't really do it for me. He goes into the meh category. All right, let's keep going through our mass luchadors. To me, Sin Cara goes into basura. Like, this man just couldn't do anything right without either hurting himself or making himself look like an idiot. I know that it got so bad to the point where the original Sin Cara up and left his contract with the WWE, and they put the Sin Cara gimmick on somebody else. But overall, I have to put Sin Cara into basura. All right, and let's finish off the masked luchadors by grabbing Rey Mysterio and obviously putting him into the Hall of Fame. The picture child of the David versus Goliath storyline, the ultimate underdog, Rey Mysterio, absolutely deserves to be on this list. Popularized the concept of lucha libre in the world of the WWE, and he absolutely deserves his props. Hall of Famer, multi-time world champion, Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania headliner. Like, this man has absolutely done it all, and he's still doing it today, and he's still hanging in there and still looking clean as ever. So I have to put Rey Mysterio into the Hall of Fame category, and I don't even have to think twice about that. Oh, I forgot about Zelina Vega in the LWO, but Zelina Vega goes into the good category. I think that she has far more charisma than the rest of the LWO members. Far more charisma. It is a shame. It is an absolute shame that she is straddled right now with those losers, because Zelina Vega is so much better than the rest of the LWO. Again, I know I'm sounding mean, but I'm being mean because I love the LWO and the representation of people that look like me, but they are just boring. They really, truly, genuinely are. Zelina Vega, on the other hand, at the very least, has a resume beyond the LWO that's very entertaining. She was a great manager with Andrade. She's had a great singles career Queen of the Ring winner. So I'm putting her into the good category. And again, she isn't this vacuum of charisma like the rest of the LWO members. She's actually a very charismatic human being. I'm putting her into the good category, and I like her Twitch streams. You guys remember Melina, the manager of Eminem? I'll put her into the good category. I think that what her job was, I think that she was one of the best ones to do it. I don't think that, you know, she's quite like a Paul Heyman or anything like that, but the role that she held within the WWE, I think she held it very well, and she held her own in the ring as well. Women's champion in her own right. Let's not forget that as well. So I'll put her into the good category. Here's a special one that I had to add into this, the Spanish announce table. I had to add the Spanish announce table to this list. The Spanish announce table has been the setting for some of the most iconic extreme spots in WWE history. How can you not have the Spanish announce table in this list? Absolutely. Probably, like, if I've always said, if there was ever a wing of the WWE Hall of Fame for props, the first ballot Hall of Famer, the first inductee, should be the Spanish announce table. That thing has gone through hell and back and always comes back just as weak as ever. I'm putting it into the Hall of Fame category. Bayley goes into the great category. I think that she has done an amazing job at helping elevate women's wrestling alongside some of her counterparts like the Sasha Banks, Charlotte's, Becky Lynch's of the world. But she is one of those OGs, right? One of the 4 horsewomen, right? But yeah, her time in NXT was wonderful. Her main roster time has really been quite turbulent, but I think that she's made the most out of the troubling situation that she's been put in with the constant ups and downs. And I think that right now, even though she's kind of being used a little bit as fodder, I think that she is doing some of the best work of her career when it comes to character work. And she's kind of having to do double duty, having to play 2 characters because she has to, of course, play herself, but then she's also Io Sky's mouthpiece. So to me, she goes into the great category. I think she's one of the greatest women to ever do it. Let's toss AJ Lee right up there as well into the great category. I feel like she could have been Hall of Fame worthy alongside the Bella Twins had we had her in the WWE for longer. I just unfortunately feel like we lost her a little too soon, and we don't really have enough body of work to really have her into the Hall of Fame category, unlike the Bellas, who are there forever. And again, I think AJ Lee and Bayley are way better than the Bellas. All right, so don't come at me with pitchforks and chanclas and try and beat me up. Okay, I don't want to go through that. But I do love AJ Lee. I'm gonna put her into the great category. She just could have had a much longer, much stronger career had she stayed with the WWE. I'm just gonna grab these 2 fellas together, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. I'm gonna put them into the meh category. I'm not gonna put them into basura because I think that they are incredibly talented. If you are watching NXT, you probably haven't seen these guys in a while, but they were sent down to NXT and they are doing some absolute amazing tag team work down there. Here's the thing, like, people are like, oh, they weren't good enough for the main roster, so they got tossed down to NXT. Look, they should have never been on the main roster to begin with. They were in their early 20s when they got sent up to the main roster. They were just sent up to the main roster to pad out the numbers that they needed during the COVID pandemic era, where they had to let go a lot of people and were using NXT talent to cover main roster spots at NXT talent pay grades instead of main roster pay grades. But now that they're back where they belong, where they're going to be developing themselves, I'm telling you, look out for these 2 within the next couple of years because they are absolutely phenomenal workers. Damian Priest goes into the great category as well. I love what they have him doing right now with the Judgment Day, but I also loved all the stuff that he was doing before the Judgment Day in NXT and as the Archer of Infamy. Is that what his nickname was? The Archer of something. Somebody is gonna have to correct me in the comments below. But I love Damian Priest, and even though he's in his 40s, I think that he still has a huge important chunk left of his career that might maybe at some point put him into the Hall of Fame. Raquel Rodriguez still has some work to do. I'm going to put her into the good category. I think that she is a phenomenal specimen, like a physical specimen, and she adds a very unique dynamic to women's wrestling that is very rare. Very few people have her physique, have her build, and are able to do things that she does when it comes to strength feats. So I do believe that in the ring that she offers a lot, but as a character, character. We're still trying to find a way to connect to Raquel. I think she's doing a much better job, but I still think that there's a lot to be desired. I'm going to put her into the good category, but with a lot of room to grow. And last but not least, I'll take Cody Rhodes, and I'll also put him into the great category. And I know, dude, some of y'all are probably looking at this and being like, how in the fuck are the Bella Twins ahead of Carlito and ahead of Cody Rhodes? And now that I'm looking at this, I'm like concerned that I've made some terrible choices here. But look, I have to live and die by these. I have to live and die by these. But look, I will happily take your shit in the comments for the Bella Twins, but I really believe that I don't love them. I really don't like the Bella Twins, but I think that they were so instrumental in being able to guide us to where we are today with women's wrestling. And they were part of like that literal evolution. Anyways, I see the fact that I'm having to justify this Bella Twins pick still tells me that I probably made the wrong call. Anyways, Cody Rhodes, if you didn't know, is half Cuban, so he counts in this. He goes into the great category. He's only like, look, here's the thing. Like, some of you might want to put him into the Hall of Fame category, but he's only ever been like, as a WWE main eventer, he's only really been here for a year and a half. Like he like, we're talking like the people that are above him. Oh God, why did I put the Bella Twins up there? Anyways, he needs way more time to go into the Hall of Fame. I need to end this video because I need to rethink my life. All right, I'm done. Get out of here.